keep running with another video as part of the same series where I appear in the same outfit. So I want to start this one out by saying that a lot of things in nature, they have like a protective coating. A lot of things have it. All kinds of things have a protective coating in nature, down to the very cell, and then probably even a subcellular units, within any organism would have different coatings, and like means of entry, blocking of entry, and so maybe you'd have like preventing from entering, inviting to entering, and then mitigating the terms of entering. You'd say that most structures in reality have that as a broader framework, and then multiple infinite times smaller, and then also from without is a lot of what nature is. And I think that that's because reality, it really is, according to Arthur Avalon, it's both heterogeneous and homogeneous. That is, it's collective, it's a composite, but it's also made of respective, distinct, eccentric, diverse members that actually make life viable, because life isn't viable without diversity. You think about how long the earth has been here, and how long life has been on earth. You need variation, you need variety to make life viable. You actually need some of the, like, you see like someone like that's really good with like doing their garden, or like you see a water hose going over a garden, right? The hose doesn't just blast the garden with nothing but water. It actually varies the water a little bit. That, like, you see like a cool hose. That's one of the coolest things as a kid for me, was like water hoses that would like go back and forth like that, or like in a cool way. And that's actually replicating like the elements in the nature. And actually you need that. So you need a little bit of deprivation and bounty always. You need a little bit and a little bit not. You need the lack and the substance, and that gives the dynamic range to make life balanced, because you can't have anything without balance. Nothing exists, it is viable without balance. Nothing. And so nature is like that. And then also diversity is part of that. And so I think that the reason the earth is viable and is as alive and young now as ever, is as ancient, way past ancient, is because it's diverse like that, and is variable and diverse. And so if someone has a problem with diversity, they actually have a problem with life. But things are connected always. According to the journalist Gerald Celente, the deepest the beginning of understanding anything, especially like politics, or like current events, things that are happening in real life. The foundation is just to appreciate that all things are connected, according to him. And I think it's true with a lot of stuff. But yet, we do have our respective stations and purposes. So I think that life can be appreciated as like charge, like polarity and charge. So you need diversity for polarity to facilitate and instigate and make a reality of charges. And so these different things of structures, the invitation, the obstruction, and the mitigation, are like the structure of a lot of things, like from the cellular to the atomic level. And it controls the flows of charges to make things work and viable, and not just to make things work. So you do need chaos, and you need order, both. And that's mitigated along the lines of like the different structures of things. But things had always been connected the whole time. And but things have a coding by that point, by that reasoning. Such a physical coding, like the structure, but also emotional coding, spiritual coding. When I say spiritual, I don't mean to be like referencing dogma, but the subtler aspects of like I think spirit refers to breath, according to Tashrik Bey, and then etheric might be like your subtle, more subtle than you can appreciate, as a gross, perceptible, manageable matter. Things always exist finer and finer to the point where it's etheric. So you have our etheric existence, our mental, emotional, verbal, psychological, intellectual, all of that. And it amounts to different coding still within that. So you take some animals in nature, like a dog, like a real dog that knows it's a dog and feels like it's a dog, and it is gonna express itself as a dog. Can you argue with that? Maybe you can work with that. Now, if you're a trainer, you can work with that. But can you argue with the dog until you've gotten around to training it? A dog it's gonna overwhelm you from the standpoint of being a dog, because there's some things that it does as a dog very well as a dog that is far beyond what we can do as a human. But then as a human, we can also do other things that the dog can't do, such as train. Maybe dogs do train each other, like in a pack, but we have a facility with training dogs that's part of our heritage and our standing and our propensity and our proclivity as a human being. But then a lot of things in nature are like that, where you have things that are you can't get past the strength of something, the strong suit of something, the inclination of something. You can't get past that without violence. And so some of that you can also take that as humans is that there's a person in a researcher like around the time of Darwin, and he said that for a female organism, a female being in nature, there is no relationship without value for a female in nature. Is that where the female does not derive value, at least meaning, maybe you could still say meaning is a form of value, where the female does not derive value and therefore meaning and therefore value, there is no relationship. There's no standpoint for a relationship. There's no beginning, middle, or end of relationship. There's just no relationship if the woman doesn't have interest. Another word would be interest. So no value, no interest. That interest and value can be synonymous. So there's no interest, there's no relationship. And so we can't get past that in nature. And now for guys, for men it's different, because you will see guys, and I've been a case in point, hanging around, effing around with different people and things that serve no useful purpose other than wasting time, maybe challenging. All these different dumbasses and idiots that we spent time with, they challenged us. We can't say they didn't challenge us, that we somehow survived their dumbass and got better for it if we're still here. And so we can't say they're completely useless, but a lot of guys, we will do different useless stuff and entertain useless things in people. But that might be a little bit less so with females, generally speaking. I don't mean to be prejudiced by applying a hard, fast rule to all people, but some of that in nature is that it can be appreciated that there's different dynamics about what's viable in interacting with a male and a female. And as has been said by researchers, biologists, is that females in nature, there must be interest for a female to engage with someone. And therefore, in another way of saying that would be value, if not meaning. The meaning might be the mitigation between value and interest. The meaning might be malleable and open to, it might be both subjective and objective would be the meaning, but you would have to have value to have interest, or you'd have to have interest. In order to have interest, you need some combination of meaning and value to have a relationship with a female. So what I meant to say is that because of that, it's been said by the speaker and YouTuber Rollo Tomasi that women are the arbiter. Actually, women are the arbiter of life and death. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, man. Women are the arbiter of life and death. Judge, jury, executioner, and nurse, and mother, and whatever gives us a reason to want to live. That have been women for a lot of us. For me. But I'm not trying to say I live for women, but I'm saying like I don't know what fun or what I'd have to incentivize me if I didn't think at one point of getting around to spending time with or sharing something with women. But women actually do create. They're the mate selector. So according to him, also men make a relationship viable because of the sacrifice and support and standing that a man would need to provide to bring to a relationship. And I've said in other videos that men and women both become vulnerable by coming into contact with another differently, though. A woman maybe more so physically, emotionally, psychologically, intellectually, spiritually, but then the man socially, physically also, because his physical welfare could be in jeopardy, but socially, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, differently. But the man is also vulnerable by coming into contact with the female. But females, at least but you're not having a relationship if you didn't have interest with the woman as much as you got to bring. And so, but from that standpoint, women are actually the gatekeepers and guardians of what babies are born. Had been women. So a lot of people, when you hear like some little kids and they're talking about like the different kids that they think are cool and the ones that they think are idiots, and then that grows up to them being adults, and the ones that they're giving attention to, and then the ones that they're dismissing or that they don't know exist, they're actually the arbiters of life and death at that point. And it's a little bit genocidal if you think about it. It's actually a little mini genocide. So all these other people didn't get relationships, so their ass is out of here, but this person did, so it's a little mini genocide. But so women are life. Women are life. There's no life without women, but also life is not promised. So even as sure as I'm here to have a child and to therefore have life going on here and hereafter is not promised also. But women would be a little bit of the mitigation of that and the arbiter of that. So I just wanted to say that a lot of the things that we think are cool, they have undertones that can be appreciated as somewhat genocidal, and it amounts to getting attention and favors from women that can also be a little bit genocidal. I just wanted to point that out.